Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first post-Rapture recap. This is for episode 1, season 2 of Golden Gates. Just premiered a couple days ago, I believe Friday, October, and we just had episode 2 drop tonight, but we will only briefly be touching on that. No spoilers for episode 2. We will heavily be spoiling episode 1, so if you have not watched yet and you don't want to get spoiled, click away now. I'm going to bring up our first eliminated contestant in a second. But first, I, of course, am your host of the podcast, and I, too, was summoned when somebody misspelled my name in a competition. My name is Gible, host of Live Reality Games at IU. And joining me is the host of Golden Gates himself. He's going to help with the interview, and any questions you have for me or him, be sure to leave in the chat. It is, hold for applause, Kyle Gates. Kyle, how you doing?
Oh, hello. I thought you were introducing someone else. Doing great. Episode 2 did just drop. Gible doesn't know what's happening because he didn't finish the episode yet, and so we will not be spoiling anything, as he already said. But yeah, and doing pretty good. It's a Golden Gates day.
Yes. I think we've given people enough time. If you haven't watched the episode already, click off this. Get out of here. I'm going to spoil it. But the first person eliminated, maybe not the fast placer. We don't know what's going on with the possible redemption trial. It is, unfortunately, a star who got their wings clipped too soon. We have Grace. Grace, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, actually. Just vibing at this point.
Yeah. So, Grace, what has the experience been like? Because I think it's been, 6 or 7 months since this is filmed. How has your experience been knowing, you got out pretty early. We know that there's still impact later on in the game with you eliminate people. Nothing on that yet. But what has it been like getting to play, I believe, your first LRG and going home with that experience to tell Seb, of course?
Well, so actually this Golden Gates was my second one. Before Golden Gates, I played Big Brother Hogwarts back in July of 2024. And so I'm just gonna talk through that, and then it'll kind of explaining my experience with my Golden Gates experience. So in Big Brother Hogwarts, I got out round 1. I was first boot in a double eviction. I come back and play Golden Gates in March 2025, and I get that same outcome. So I'm these are my only 2 LRG experiences, and all I really know from it is getting first boot. And I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely, and my cast knows this and production knows this, and people after watching episode 1, now being the whole world's able to see it, know how I have been really feeling. It's been very difficult for me. Golden Gate's production's amazing, and I love all the amazingness that the game brought, now getting to see all the cool comps and getting to see everything. And it's really nice too that we get to be involved in the game as well. But also it's just, again, been so difficult for me because I really wanted to go in there and play and actually full on strategize and actually get a placement that wasn't first boot. And it happening to me again, and having to come to Seb and be yeah, the game that you did pretty decent at last season and you won your comps with, I couldn't do it. And I felt through all this time, I feel I let him down, and I feel I let a lot of people down. And then the people who are going to watch the episode, they're going to oh, look at her getting first boot again. It's been a lot. You're going to see through this interview. I'm going to give it real raw, uncut, but it's definitely been a lot of emotions though.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can definitely sympathize, empathize, whatever the right word is. And I think the first live reality game I played that got televised, Surviving Bloomington, I too was in that first out spot. Definitely not an easy position to be in, but I've learned to live with it for a while. It does eventually get better, I'll tell you that. So other than that, can you tell us a little bit about, so you guys, it seemed like before the game started, or at least before, the game is always on, right? But before the competition started, you guys had some time to chat. You were, I think, probably the seventh person in the house. What was some of the people, I mean, we know you knew Rachel and Hot Girl Chris and Logan. What were some of the new people that you got to meet? And really just who stands out in either a positive or a negative impression for you?
Ooh, let me think back, because I gotta roll it back for a second and remember like my very first impressions of people. I know like immediately, like when I saw Beck, I knew she was gonna be definitely a very fun character. She was gonna be very entertaining. She was already so funny, and I'm like, she's gonna be fun. I'm excited to see her. And then like I feel like another person I also was had very good conversations with was Trish, and I feel like I talked to John a good bit too before the game started as well. And I was just going around like I literally had a whole mindset going into this game, and that was what are things Grace can do to avoid getting out first, and that is go around and make sure you're all cute and sweet and look like that to everybody around you. So I was trying to do that, but those are some of the people I got those impressions off of, pretty good impressions off of. I didn't have anything negative on anybody at
You were
all.
definitely right about Trish, because she, when Noah told her, I think I might drag Grace, she said, no, I think you should do this something else. So she was definitely trying to push it your way too. So sometimes you just get unlucky with who gets the drag power, and then then it's such a difficult situation. And then
So during the Omni trial, divide and subtract, it seemed like I think you mentioned in confessional that you were throwing it. Can you talk us through a little bit about the process and what made you come to that decision? And looking back, I mean, would you change your mind about that now?
I did like touch on it a little in my confessional. So I have played orgs where I have won power too early. Like I could even go to week 3 and still have no idea, Grace, what are you gonna do? And then anytime I have made a nomination, I've always made the whole house mad. I've always made the whole game mad. Like, Grace, that was so stupid. Why did you do that? And so, especially in an LRG setting, again, this is the theme. This is going to be the theme I'm making. Things Grace will do to avoid getting first boot, and that was, or getting out, or trying to get it out early. For a matter of fact, was not wanting to win, because I know me, and I know I've been like my also too. Like I don't have the best reads to either when I play these. And so, I just did not feel confident to be able to like, okay, I don't know who I am going to nominate. And I feel like so I don't know. I don't think now looking back on it, I don't think a lot of people saw it the way I did, but I feel like I connected decently with people at the beginning. So I'm like, okay, so I feel okay enough. And then I also looked at who was left in that Omni competition as well, and they were people I feel like I had solid conversations with and would not nominate me firsthand, so I felt comfortable throwing it then. And would I go back and do it differently? There's 2 things I would have done in that situation. Dang, I wish I threw the way Beck got out first in that competition. I wish I voted myself to go out first, just so I could take that power and take my little happy self down to the gates. I wish I would have thrown it like then and there. Either that, or I wish I would have just tried to pull out with that win, so that way I would not be in this same predicament right now.
Well, that brings up a good question. Kyle, I got a question for you. I'm a big believer in Chekhov's gun. Everything comes for a purpose, or there's a reason in every edit. Can you tell us what does 125 mean to you?
That's my actual gym locker. So it is changeable. It is reused again.
Okay.
But it's changed. So it's really difficult to change, to be honest. So I didn't want to change it. I was like, I'm just going to leave it here until we need it for the real reason we brought it.
Okay. if I go on Golden Gates and you put a lockbox in front of me, I shouldn't just type in 125. It might be different.
It absolutely will change. And it won't be that other number either whenever you see that.
All right. Well, you heard, if you ever want to break into Kyle's locker, 125 is the code.
No, not my AirPods.
You better have a key ready in there for me so I can unlock and go to Gates.
Yes. That's gonna be there.
So Kyle, can you tell us a little bit about how did you come up with this idea for the for Beck's? I mean, I guess it wasn't a power at the end of the day, but this dilemma, because I found it really intriguing and it seemed like some good thought went into it. What was the workshopping like, and how did you land on the dilemma?
Yeah, so the first idea for the competition was different rounds that eliminate people, and then we just like thought about a bunch of things, and then we ended up doing the division kind of thing. So you're making groups, but then the easiest thing to do at first to eliminate somebody is 2 groups of 7. You're like, oh, that would really suck if you were trying. Yes, they were ending up throwing, but I would never throw first. Maybe I would throw like third, but why would you throw first? That's scary. And so we ended up doing that, and we're like, if someone was trying really hard and got bullied into the 15th spot, we want to give them the opportunity to go down. I feel like I would take it just because I would hate to go home knowing that. And then she ended up not taking it. She kind of threw because she also wanted to be upstairs a little bit. So she's like, oh, well, I already made that decision. I'm not going to do it now. Maybe she didn't know for sure that somebody who ended up being John was going to be downstairs in like 20 minutes anyway. I feel like that'd be an interesting time to bond with the Omni. I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking might happen. But yeah, I just thought it was a really cool idea to just throw another safety out there for round 1 for someone who's feeling vulnerable.
I really enjoyed it, and we will get to the the laser maze, which I'm sure you got a lot of compliments on in the comments. It looked like. I wanted to ask, so John wins the Omni. He's the powerful position, the head of household, or whatever it is. But so Grace, it seemed like everyone had one-on-ones. I'm sure you had time to chat. The sun went from bright as day in the morning to pitch black at night by the end of the episode. What was your one-on-one with John like, if you had one? And were there any like interesting conversations you had during that period of time?
So during that period of time, definitely very nervous and again in that mindset of trying to survive. And I know people were going out to see him in groups, and I kind of was like, I don't think I want to do that. If I want to guarantee my safety, I'm going to make sure that it's me and John only. For even if it's just a little moment, make sure it's only us two, so I can tell him however I feel. Plus, I feel bringing another person, you can't be as genuine too, because you say something crazy, they can go around and tell it to somebody, or they'll know. So I wanted to get out and wanted to have my own conversation with him, and I thought I had a pretty decent conversation with him, because I kind of mentioned I felt like he was somebody before the game started. When we were just socializing, I had a lot of conversation with, or I had one of the people I had the most conversations with. And when I went out there and I talked to him, I felt pretty good with him. And I did have a little paranoia, because I don't know if he knew for sure what his decision was going to be. The only thing he did share was that he was thinking of doing Beck because of the power of her not playing it. And the other 2 spots, I really did not know where that was going to go. But at least like when it came to myself, though, I felt pretty good there. And I think after that, I was like, I don't think he's going to throw me in. I just felt he wasn't going to put me in.
Well, this brings us to an interesting point. So after the power of redemption, were you worried at all? So going into it, before you hear the results, were you worried about Noah or sorry, it's escaping. Let me check my notes. Were you worried about Noah or Beck or not Grace or Ty sending you in?
So I was not as worried about Ty, because he did pull me and Logan to the side if I remember, I'm trying to remember when this happened, but he was like, if I like have to drag for any reason, like I don't want to put you two in. So I was like, maybe he's not gonna put me in. So that's gonna be that would be good for me if he ended up getting that drag power. But for Beck and Noah though, I did honestly had no clue what they would have done in that situation at the time. I don't know what they were thinking or where they were leaning at all. And definitely, if either of them won, I definitely was gonna be a lot more scared if either of them won, and that's ended up happening.
Yeah. What did you? We see Rachel, who is one of the people I believe at the start you said you were close with, actively pushing for you in the one-on-ones with Koa. Do you know why that might have happened?
Honestly, with her, I'm gonna be so real. I don't know why, because, and I will say this, she watched me get first boo in Big Brother Hogwarts, and when I didn't know she was pushing my name, I thought because Noah kept saying a bunch of people, I did not know until the episode aired that she was one of them. And here's how I truly feel about it. Based on my conversation with Noah, and Noah's like, I feel comfortable putting you in because I'm going to stay against you. And I feel Kyle could probably touch on this, but I don't think she was the only person pushing me to go in. I don't believe she was the only person. I do believe she was a big person now, seeing that she tried to get John to throw me in. But I don't think she was the only person, and I don't think like the edit showed that there were other people involved. I'm just really interested. That's something I was really interested in, because based on that conversation with Noah, I felt they were definitely, it sounded like a few people who were trying to push me in. But I was shocked that she was a big person to do that. Like, if she didn't feel like she connected with me, I get it. But also at the same time, I'm like, this is about to happen to me a second time. And also, what did I do?
Yeah, Kyle, do you want to touch on like what got cut on the edit room floor this episode?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure the number of people or if we're missing anybody who's targeting you, but I was just thinking, I was like, just from the facts of you and Rachel playing a game together, and yeah, I think it was a double. It's pretty, you only can save one of the three people, I think. So usually playing a game with someone isn't that big of a help in a new game, because the chances are one of you guys eliminated each other. And so you can either try to like, hey, let's work together now. Maybe Rachel was scared of you coming back for her since she voted you out once, or didn't vote to save you in the double. Maybe that's why she initially targeted you. I think like in the beginning of Noah's talks about who he was going to drag, he did tell people like, hey. So I think somewhere in between there, he got that idea. Maybe someone came up to him. I don't know if it's on camera. I haven't looked in. I'm not the editor. Jason's the editor. I do all the videos, but I haven't gone through the videos since April, specifically. But yeah, so I think he had a potential idea. Maybe he talked to Rachel a little bit.
Can you speak to from when you started the Omni to when Grace gets out? About how long was that? Because we were
no, it was a good amount of time, and there also was probably an hour of mingling time when we brought them up, and then we let people talk around, have the champagne, and then the Omni happened, and then that was the longest time probably to talk, so John could make his decision, talk to a lot of people.
Last time in question, then I'll get back to other stuff. But how long was there from when Grace got to when the voting happened? Because I was talking to some of my friends who watched the episode, and they were like, it seemed like she had like 4 minutes to campaign.
It's hard to tell because every single round was different. We like to ask like, how many minutes do you guys think you? If I had to guess, I'd say 30 since it's the first round drag. And yeah, like you don't want to have zero opportunity. It's not like it's supposed to be a blind side. It's supposed to be just the final nominations.
So, Grace, you do end up getting eliminated here, unfortunately. Who knows what that means for the grand scheme of the game? Can you tell us what about your relationship with Hot Girl Chris do you think made him want to throw a vote towards your way?
So I have known Hot Girl Chris for a really long time, since like 2018, 2019 at this point. And literally, like, immediately when it was so crazy, so little behind the scenes going back. So David's picking us up from the airport, and I'm in the car sitting in the front seat, and I see Hot Girl Chris. My brain gets so excited, and literally, like, me and him are kind of like smiling, and then German walks up, and we're like, we just kind of look away from each other. We're like, we don't want to give too much of anything away. So literally, like, we were so excited, and then we finally had a moment to ourselves. We were in the kitchen, and everyone else was like in the living room and filming like their opening confessionals before we officially started things. And we were both just by ourselves, and immediately we just run and give each other the tightest hug. I do think it got caught on camera, because I think I remember seeing somebody walk by with a camera. But we had the long tightest hug, and we're like, and Chris was like, I got you. And I'm like, I got you as well. So we kind of had that agreement with each other. And so Hot Girl Chris has always been someone I love so much. And I just was so happy and excited to finally meet him in person, and so ready to just have a fun time with in this game. And it really does, like, and what I really respect about Hot Girl Chris is saving me, even though I had no chance whatsoever because of everything that was going on. And even people were trying to be like, we'll throw a sympathy vote to Grace just to be whatever. And I just was like, but I think Hot Girl Chris, like, genuine, like, it was very genuine. And I just really appreciate it, because when I got first out in Hogwarts, it was a vote to save. Literally, like, you save the one nominated, the other two go. I went unanimously. Nobody saved me at all. And it felt so nice. Like, I will say, like, as upsetting and as, like, the heart with how difficult this has been for me, a little light that does come out is the fact that there was one save there because of Hot Girl Chris not wanting to allow me to go out like that. And that's something I just really appreciate so much. It's just, I at least had something there. It would have been still devastating if I went unanimously. So I'm just very, very thankful that I had that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll love to hear that. We'll clip it and send it to him, something like that. Last thing, so I'm going to put up a brief spoiler warning, because Grace said they wanted to talk about the start of episode 2. I don't think there's any spoilers, or at least I'm going to ask no spoilers about who wins competitions, who gets nominated. But Grace, so tell us what your final thoughts are. Close us out, and can you tell us you want to talk a little bit about the first Omni trial or second Omni trial?
Yeah, so like I said, this has just been very I'm very grateful for this opportunity, but this is definitely like been mentally and emotionally one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through, because I just really want to play one of these LRGs, and I want to actually, like, physically be able to play the game. And something I love about Golden Gates is that being in the gates, you can still have that impact on the game, but it kind of, like, at the same time, I just really wish that I had a chance to play and a chance to, like, fully be in there. A little, even for what all I ask for is just one more round. Like, just don't get me out first. And it definitely has me, and it still has me feeling like very self-doubtful, a lot of self-doubts of myself. Definitely, like, with it now happening twice, and like seeing, like, some of the confessionals like in this episode, and then like hearing what people told me, it was like the same theming I feel like I've always gotten. Oh, I didn't feel like I connected with you. I didn't feel like I connected with you. And I always just keep wondering, like, what am I doing wrong? And I touched on it like my last confessional in the last episode. I said, what am I not doing right? Because I literally learned what I could from Hogwarts and wanted to bring it to Golden Gate, not only to make myself proud, but to make Seb proud, to make everybody else. What could I do? And it just puts me in a space like I was not doing enough. And it's just been a very difficult battle for me, mentally. And I'm still like, I feel like I'm going to heal myself. I do feel, but like with all the episodes airing back out, and it's definitely been a lot for sure. And I just again manifesting for that healing. And I definitely feel if I did not get first boot in Hogwarts, anybody who was there could tell you that when I got out, I took it like a champ. I did not like feel this way. I was feeling so happy. I was excited still. I was literally, and I know myself, I was like, oh, I'm gonna flip out if this ever happens to me. And I didn't. And I definitely think that if that didn't happen, that same thing I felt back when I got evicted first in, I would not be feeling the way that I am now. So that's just kind of been, and I really appreciate like this podcast here for being able to talk about all of this, because it's just, like I said, it's been very difficult. And I wasn't like, people in the game and production knew I was struggling with it when I was there actually, but the amount that it's messed with me after the game is ended, especially as the premiere was coming closer and closer. And I look into the beginning of this episode, seeing that the Omni Cop was the one, Sab one. They took me out before I could compete in a cop that he won. I really wanted that. I really wanted that. And that was also very difficult because literally that laughing and screaming that was in the episode, I was able to hear that from downstairs. I was able to hear that, and bruh, I bawled. I was bawling like crazy when I heard that. I'm like, why can't that be me? Like, that's all I kept thinking. Why am I here right now? Why can I not be up there with them?
Well, I'll let you know. I mean, I have a couple friends in person. They're not in line. But they said that they enjoyed your time on the show. I think you had a great one-liner in the opener. What was it? Graces and gentlemen, start your engines.
Ooh, like a reenacted. Graces, start your engines, and may the best icon win.
There you go. Kyle, do you have any final thoughts or questions you want to do before we close out?
As someone also with astigmatism, pray for our astigmatism, because that line is iconic. And like, yes, keep praying for it.
That comp with the emojis. I just remember standing there and I'm watching them go, and graphics already make me, especially if I'm close to them, already mess with my eyes. But watching them go, I said, I can't. My eyes are starting to spin a little. I'm not going to be able to get this question right. And what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Well, other than that, Grace, do you have any other projects, any social media, anything you want to shout out right now?
I guess projects. Me and Seb do host the Survivor game together. We're not currently casted for any seasons right now, but if we ever do, it is an org. So if you want something to do in your free time, whatever, we do have any newbies apply, or we have a new season with all new players, like definitely apply. But like other than that, I really don't have like a lot of I don't have like a lot of project stuff like org wise.
Where can the people find your org?
It is on Discord. mostly, but also if you go on Facebook and type in Distortion Survivor, they can also be able to follow along on there as well. And if anybody watches this and they're like, "Ooh, Distortion," I'm intrigued. You can hit me. You can hit me up. I love talking. I will happily provide the Discord link so you can join in.
All right, Kyle, tell us, when does episode 2 drop, and when does episode 3 and more drop? What's the plans for the future? Tell us about it.
Episode 2 is out today because it's Tuesday. Friday was just for the premiere, so people could fly in. Every single Tuesday, we will have a new episode. We're not expecting any gaps. It should just be all the way into the finale. And it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. I just want to say, if Grace pops into any of your casting applications, check her out. She is a great cast. We had 0 issues with her. She was such a fun time. Obviously, she said she was a little sad, but like, it was a good time. We loved having her, and we were very, very, very sad to see her go. But here's the thing: in the Golden Gates, you're never really gone unless you like leave the property. You're in the game. There is a social game to play. There was a buyback last season. Also, there will absolutely be a little bit more twist with the jury members this season, and I'm very excited for y'all to see that a few episodes later. And it's a big one. It's a lot of fun, and it's very camp.
Yeah, I
love the camp.
I was randomly rewatching the casting video, like season 2 now casting, and it said the jury and the eliminated players will have more impact than ever. So I look forward to that. Other than that, I've been Gible. Check out some more of our podcasts. Hopefully we'll have weekly coverage, exit interviews if everything works out well. If nothing else, hopefully we'll get a podcast up just to recap the episode. I love talking to Kyle. I love talking to all these people. And hopefully I'll love talking to whoever comes out next. I haven't watched the episode yet, but if you want to watch the episode, check it out. Golden Gates live reality game. Google it on YouTube. If you want to check out some of my projects, go to Instagram, LRG Indiana. We just finished up Genius Game. If you're a fan of that, if you're a fan of puzzles, just did that. Survivor Out of You season 1, it's all on YouTube. Season 2 coming eventually. Had some people from your first Genius Game, or from your first season of Golden Gates on that. Other than that, thank you for tuning into the podcast. Thank you, Grace. You've been a great interviewee. And thank you again, Kyle, for helping me co-host this. I've been Gible. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.
Thanks for hosting.
Thank you.